千里之行，始于足下。A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Eric Lin, where we take a deep dive into the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. I would like to invite you to center your thoughts and direct your attention to this moment in time, to the here and now, to be fully present and mindfully aware as we all ready ourselves for this sacred process in the Tao with one another. So this concept, to decrease desires rather than to eliminate them, is a central part of the Tao. It is not unique to Lao Tzu. The way that Lao Tzu has expressed it in this chapter is what we have seen in line 10. Reduce selfishness, decrease desires. Usually, the first part and the last part of a Tao Te Ching chapter is the most important, and here we're looking at the last part. So focusing on these two characters, 寡欲, decrease desires, there's actually another sage, 孟子, who said, 养心莫善于寡欲. So the last two characters there are the exact same two characters. What did he mean by this sentence? He said, and I translate, to nurture the mind, nothing is better than decreasing desires. So you can see the match. The characters are the same, the translations are similar. So in what Mengzi said, the first two characters, 养心, is to nurture the mind. 心 is heart or the mind. Then the last two characters there, decreasing desires, he identifies that as the best possible way to nurture the mind. What that means, nurturing the mind or the heart, it means to refine the spirit. So what he's saying here is, number one, the decrease in desires, that is what enables detachment from them. That makes sense. When you have a lot of desires, they become overwhelming. You don't know exactly what to do. Once you manage them, you reduce them to a reasonable level, you are able to begin the process of letting some of them go, to detach from them. Number two, as you are able to detach from desires, you liberate the mind from anxieties. That's because the overwhelming desires that you had before, that was the very source of making you feeling anxious. Number three, when you are free of the anxieties, that is when you are able to elevate the spirits. So 1, 2, and 3 in a very logical sequence, that is why we want to follow the Tao to nurture the mind by decreasing desires. So one way to showcase what Mengzi is talking about is with a metaphor. So imagine the sheet of paper representing your original essence. We talked about the blank slate. We talked about the blank canvas for the artist, the unwritten story for the writer. So here is the story of your life that is unwritten. Initially, there's nothing on this blank sheet of paper. This is your original essence. This is Pu. And in Latin, tabula rasa for blank slate. So what happens in your life? Well, the first order of business is survival. And we talked about this means sustenance and food. So right in the middle, here's some bread to represent that. Once you've taken care of hunger, your mind turns to other basic needs. Close to where? Maybe a roof over your head. In this day and age, you will also need some sort of transportation. I have a car here to represent that. In some places in the world, that may just mean the public transit system, but we'll use the car. I think everyone understands I just mean symbolically transportation to get you from one place to another. So we got food, we've got housing, we've got transportation. We need to maintain all of the above. You need to make a living. That is represented by money here. With money, you can indulge in better food, all kinds of food, and drinks too. With money, you also need to upgrade your wardrobe to fit your new improved status. So not just any shirt will do. So you have become moderately successful. You begin to see the need to upgrade other aspects of your life as well, like a bigger house, a better car. Now you find that you need more money. That's not all. Your new outfit needs accessories, so you have to spend money on that. Perhaps a nice watch to go along with all that. Perhaps other accessories as they come to mind. Your house will invariably have some maintenance issues. You need to spend money on that as well. And the high-end car needs more expensive maintenance. Again, have to spend money on that. At some point, the doctor may tell you, listen, you've got some health warning signs due to all the overindulgence, the foods that are too rich. Your cholesterol is high, your blood pressure is high, sugar level is high. You have to cut back. You have to be on prescription medicine, which also, surprise, surprise, costs money. So from the original blank slate, somehow life has become rather complex. So we ask ourselves the question, why can things not be simple like they used to be? Keep in mind, most of us live lives that are many times more complex than I have depicted in this simplified image. So this is just an example. If we were to jot down everything, every aspect of your life currently, there's not going to be room. It will overrun this particular slide. It will be massive. But this is sufficient to express what the sages would like to point out. They want to tell us that there's no end to the things that we can add to the page on the right. This is what I meant by bottomless pit. No end to it. We still remember the original essence of simplicity. Now, because some of the things that we have utilized in life are needs rather than wants, we know that we're not going to go back to a completely blank page. But between the simplicity of our original nature on the left and the complexity that our lives have become, there must be a balancing point somewhere in the middle, the Tao of equilibrium, at which point we have what we need and we can enjoy life without getting bogged down by all the details. Now, what the middle ground looks like is up to you, but we know it's a happier place where less is more. So the right side, representing our lives in the material plane, in the Tao, it is often described as dust. The world is described as dust. It is what clings to us as we work our way through life. It is a fitting metaphor in another way, because the influence of the material world is something that can be cleansed. If we follow the Tao, we can clean it up, just like how we can wash the dust off of a dusty object by rinsing with water. Of course, water is often used as a symbol for the Tao, so that is another fitting metaphor. We can use the Tao to wash off what we don't actually need in life. This is not an overnight, instantaneous kind of process. This decrease is gradual, and there's explanation specifically addressing this in the Tao teachings. In a chapter to come, chapter 48, we see the following two lines in the beginning. Pursue knowledge, daily gain. Pursue Tao, daily loss. This passage makes it clear that the Tao process runs counter to acquiring knowledge. So the Tao is not about adding or accumulating. Rather, it is about subtracting and letting go. The decreasing process, when we talk about daily loss, the decreasing process is meant to be incremental on a daily basis. It's a lifelong project. It is not meant to be something quick and easy. Rather, it is a process where every day is a little better than the day before. This continues until you reach the state of Wu Wei. The Wu Wei state is the lack of attachments, where one is free to simply observe what is happening in the world or take minimal actions that are nevertheless extremely effective. It is therefore connected to Pu, the simple and plain, your original nature. And in the same chapter 48, Lao Tzu continues on to say, when you reach that level, Wu Wei, you get to the point of Wu Bu Wei, meaning there is nothing you cannot do, or you can do anything, because this is the realm of true spiritual strength and authentic power. In fact, The more you simplify, consolidate, and streamline, the more you focus and strengthen the natural power of your spirituality, the power you already possess. And this affects every aspect of your life. And here's how that works. Internally, in your thoughts, reducing selfishness. Think of us instead of me. This leads to an external decrease in desires. Very naturally, because you are no longer thinking about what's in it for me. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.